Hello everyone, what's going on? I'm Blue and I'm bringing you back some feral content. Um, as I said, I'm actually going to be maining a Disciplined Priest, but I am very excited to play the Druid. Um, and I wanted to bring you some questions that I had, some videos that didn't get answered. I was watching tons of videos that didn't get answered. First of all, what are the talents that we're going to be rolling as we prep for BFA, as we level in BFA. Um, the talents are here. I have here. I'm going to go over them. But first of all, I do want to go over a few things. I am in live right now. These are kind of the BFA preps right now. So this is actually the live servers. You see everybody's testing out their crap. Some things have changed, and the main one is Brutal Slash. Brutal Slash used to be this amazing thing, single target, AoE, you go Brutal Slash. Obviously, you're running mythic content, you're just straight on a boss. Okay, go Savage Roar, Lunar Inspiration, that sort of thing. That's fine. Um, but right now, it's not. It's no longer. It's no longer a single target thing, and honestly, it shouldn't be. A lot of specs they have an AoE talent. It's a weaker talent, but it's a strong AoE. That's what Brutal Slash is for us now. And to kind of go over that, so this is a test dummy. I hit this test dummy with open up Tiger's Fury Incarnation, and you open up with 3 Brutal Slashes. Right, we see right here Brutal Slash. I can't really scroll over. I don't want to, but you can see I have 3 casts of Brutal Slash. My average is 130. Just remember 130. We go up here to Shred. I have 3 casts of Shred. My average is 226. We're talking pretty close to double the damage. Um, so Brutal Slash is out. And so I'm thinking to myself, I don't have any Azurite gear yet. Um, when I do my dungeons, how are the dungeons going to look? Because I know you guys are going to want to do some dungeons. And honestly, it's looking like Brutal Slash is going to be out as well for the dungeons. Um, but first of all, I know that's a little bit crazy. Let's go over first of all how we're going to leveling. We're going to level up with Predatory. We're going to want that change. We want that cooldown reduction on our Tiger's Fury. Tiger Dash, it's up to you on this one. Tiger Dash is great. Um, it's really fun. Very short cooldown, very fast movement speed. I think it's great if you're getting to where you're going. Personally, I probably am going to use Renewal. And the reason to this, you just swipe a whole bunch of crap, you bring it all together, um, you get all the things you need, and then I would Brutal Slash them all together. Boom, quest done. Kind of like a tanking method. I would see, we're going to see where that goes. Obviously, you're going to have to see how many mobs you grab. So Renewal will come in handy when you're doing such a pull such as that when you're questing. Balance Affinity is great. I'll go Balance Affinity, go Typhoon. Um, I would do Incarnation. I was thinking about this. What I would tell you guys. Jagged Wounds is strong. In our kit right now, the bleeds are pretty strong. The auto attacks are really strong, as you'll find out. The bleeds are really strong. So this is actually great for our damage. But while thinking this, if you're going to be questing, doing War Mode, I would do Incarnation. And the reason of that is just Incarnation being able to let you stealth again. So let's say I'm actually sneaking up somebody to kill somebody. I'm going to pop all my cooldowns, Tiger's Fury, Incarnation, unload on them, do everything, all my bleeds, and then I would probably, so after I unload on him, do all my abilities, I'd probably stealth away as well, uh, and see kind of how you are from there. Or likewise, if I'm getting attacked, I never usually pop my Incarnation unless it's a crazy pull that I'm probably going to die. Unless I do, it's usually available to me all the time. And this is a great way if I get jumped, I incarnate, I stealth away. So for me, I will probably go Incarnation just because of that fact, using War modes. Um, and I'm actually going to Brutal Slash even though its damage is not good. So going over all that, this is kind of what I'm going to look like, leveling, it looks like that. So I've checked out the damage as well for Blood Talons. Blood Talons is out. Thank goodness. It's a little bit interesting to use. It makes Feral fun, but the damage isn't there. Um, so luckily that's out. And also something else that you need to consider with Moment of Clarity is you are going to be starved for energy, especially in dungeons when you're clearing content, when the mobs have more health. Obviously questing, it's not a big deal with Predatory, but you want that extra energy right there. Um, so now let's talk about the dungeons. How are we going to go on dungeons? What are dungeons going to look like as Feral? When normally as Feral, my rotation looks like, it just looks like this. Boom, boom, boom. And then I have, of course, the legendaries, which you're not going to have anymore. But for Thrash, that's it. Very easy. It's really dependent on Brutal Slash. But Brutal Slash is so weak right now. And another thing that's important is your Azerite traits. A lot of your new Azerite traits are actually going to be buffing your bleeds. So really your rotation, it's going to look a lot like open, tab, tab. And then it's just like, okay, you know, like, well, obviously I'm not going to do Brutal and Slash. And you're going to be filling with your shreds. So, Predatory again. Okay, so now we're going to talk about dungeons. Predatory again. I would do Renewal again. There's no reason for you to be Tiger Dashing in front of everybody. And this is going to help you sustain. Balance Affinity. Maybe not. The only thing in your kit that you would really need it for, I'm gonna use it, but you might not need it, you know. Just because all of your attacks are kind of just like right next to each other, I don't know. You might need it. You could go something else, but I'm gonna do that. Typhoon, I love Typhoon. I use it all the time. So now here's the important part. You're not gonna be doing Incarnation in dungeons. In dungeons where you're trying to do high level stuff, you're going to be Jagged Wounds, and that's because the rotation now is gonna be crazy. It's just going to be straight. Let me rip, or I'm sorry, rake, rip, fill until this falls off. Here's my, in case you guys don't know my kit, and then it's just going to be filling. It's just like, okay, doing this again, filling it up, and that's going to be most of your damage. You're not going to really do a lot of AoE. Maybe when I was filling for my Shred, instead of filling for my Shred, I probably should have filled for my Thrash. And that depends on your Azerite traits. Sometimes your Azerite traits, you get buffed for using your Shred. And it's looking like, you know, our whole entire kit for AoE, we're not going to be using it. So it's going to be a lot of tab targeting and a lot of Rake. So we're going to go Jagged Wounds. And Jagged Wounds, it's strong, even single target. And I would also go Sabertooth. Something interesting about the Sabertooth is usually you kind of you get a snapshot with your druids, so that means the damage or the increases you do right now. You use your rip, and those damages, it stays stronger for the entire duration, right? It's kind of interesting, and I'm interested to see how this goes, but there are some Azerite traits that have to do with your rip. I don't want to see if I can find them. I wasn't really prepared, but let me see. And I'm kind of wondering if how they'll work out with this. Okay, rip deals 120 damage per combo point and has a 6% chance to award a combo point each time it deals damage. Okay. This one is interesting to me. This is the one I was talking about. Luckily, I found it right away. So Rip deals 120 additional damage per combo point. Now, if we think about how is Rip with our talent of Sabertooth, actually, we are reapplying Rip by using Sabertooth. And we're using by using Ferocious Bite, sorry. So if I Ferocious Bite this guy with 5, does that also count for stacking a Rip with 5 talent points? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So I think honestly, and this is strong even without that kind of niche situation, Sabertooth is still strong. but I think this is actually going to be busted right here. Um, just being able to apply this with a 5-point ferocious bite and getting that extra 120 times 5 damage, it's going to be strong. So honestly, this is what you're going to look like for the leveling situation of your dungeons. Um, Leveling up into the next cap is probably going to look like this. That's it. We're just switching these 75 and 90. We're just switching those over. And enjoy Brutal Slash while you have it. You're probably not gonna. This is probably not gonna be something we're using anymore unless they come up with different Azerite traits. There are some Azerite traits that do buff your Brutal Slash, and I'll show you those just in case you have any questions as well. I believe there's some right here. No. Try again. They're always on the last boss, by the way. So here's one of the rips, the rakes. This is gonna make your AoE, or this is gonna make your AoE just using your rake very strong. So pretty much you don't have AoE. I think on this one next, right? Awesome, I can't even see it. Okay. Shred deals 520 additional damage, and Swipe deals 198. It says Swipe right now because I'm on it. Okay, so 529 additional damage, and Brutal Slash does 198. Still, it's not there. I mean, this is really increasing your shred, and honestly, you don't want this talent. You don't want this gear, because of, like, the exception to it is, like, yes, it's doing extra damage, but only to enemies suffering from your thrash. You're not thrashing. There's no, in this new expansion, there's nothing that increases your thrash damage. Let me get on it right now. And it's got an okay bleed, but it's not good. So we're not going to be thrashing. Yeah, also too expensive on our energy. I was thinking about maybe doing it for the bleed, but the energy is just too expensive. So really, this gear that gives you this, anything with this, it's not going to be good. So there it is. I hope you guys really enjoy this video. I hope you guys keep strong with the Feral. The Feral is actually looking really good. I do need to get some guild members together and see what the damage looks like of different specs related to Feral. I'm really interested in that. Maybe I'll get a video when I can get some guildies together to do that. But right now, Feral's looking really strong. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited too. Thanks for watching.